Okay, so always with watercolor, you want to start with your lightest colors first. So if I'm doing blue-green and red-orange, which one's lighter in value? The red-orange is going to be a little bit lighter in value, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some water in my, oops, wrong color, my yellow, or not my yellow, goodness, my orange and my red, okay? But over here, you'll see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put the red-orange in here. So, unlike yesterday, I'm going to mix it up real good. But I'm going to use my paintbrush like a sponge, and I'm going to scrape it on the edge so that all of that pigment is creating a pool in my lid instead, okay? So I'm going to pull all that out. If you just dip your brush in, it soaks it up like a sponge, and then you can kind of get it out, okay? Now I'm going to rinse out my paintbrush. I'm going to do the same exact thing with red. I probably won't put quite as much red in because it's going to change this color probably quite a bit. And then what I'm going to do is, now that I have this little pool right here, now I'm just going to add in just some plain water to the whole thing. So I'm going to make a pool of this color. So I have a nice big pool to work from, and I'm not going to run out of this specific color. Okay? When you have your color mixed, then you will paint all of those objects with water first that you want to be this color, okay? Now I will work from this, but I will also work from the paint pans in case I want to just change this color the tiniest bit to make my shape a little more interesting. But take your time to really try and get those edges painted well. Get them nice and wet so that your watercolor will spread nicely. I got a little bit out of the line there. Yeah. Make sure you're covering your pencil lines. We do not want to see any pencil lines, okay? So you can kind of see where I painted water because it looks a little bit darker. But now I'm going to dip into my color, and I'm going to just kind of dab it around. I'm not actually painting it. I'm a dabber. I like to dab.
I thought you said we can't dab.
That's 2019.
I know. I will be dabbing paint-wise forever, I'm sure. Yeah.
I thought you said you can't dab.
What?
I thought you said you can't dab. You said dab like this. Oh, but you can do it.
We dab in watercolor. So what I mean by, I'm going to leave some, I might do some still from my paint pan. So if I want some areas maybe a little more orangey, I can kind of just tap in a little bit of just orange into some places, rinse out my brush, get out the water on my paper towel, because if you make these too wet, it will make puddles on this paper. But then just kind of work it around a little bit.
Oh yeah, my things should have been bigger.
And I'm going to call that good. Okay, so I'm going to work across the page doing some of these shapes. I might try and make some of these lighter and some of them a little bit darker, just so they're not exactly the same. Like this one that I'm doing, I'm going to do red-orange, but I'll probably add a little more red to it. So the last one, I added a little orange to it. I'm still going to primarily use this color, okay, but now I'm going to go to my paint pan, and I'm going to just grab a little extra red and add that in, okay. So you're basically working with the reds and oranges and red-orange, just so that if they're right next to each other, they stay a little bit different. So they're interesting. And guys, if you put a little too much on something and you want to take it off, if you squeeze all the water out of your paintbrush, with your paper towel, it will work like a sponge, okay? So if you have areas that are starting to pool, just hit it with a dry brush and it will pull that pigment out.